Hello everyone, I am Alka1993. Welcome to the semi-finals, to round 4 of the Initials tournament. The two players in this battle, FlashSilver and myself, are the final two remaining that haven't yet lost a match, that have yet to even lose a single game. We've won all three of our previous matches 2-0, so at least one of us is going to have a game loss. At least one of us is going to have a match loss, something neither of us has had before. I didn't know much about FlashSilver coming into this. I didn't want to. All I knew that they had a Zapdos and that it was really annoying. Let's get into the battle. Lopunny, Araquanid, Zapdos. L-A-Z. Lopunny, I wasn't really sure what to expect, besides the fact that it would very likely go Mega. And I recalled Mega Lopunny being pretty fast and powerful, but what sets, like move sets to expect from it, I had no idea. Araquanid, Water Bubble is bound to be its ability, considering it lowers the damage from Fire-type moves and it boosts its own Water type power as well, I believe even by 2 times. So from his base, is it 70 physical attack and 50 special I think he has? It pretty much for its water moves becomes 140 and 100, which is really nice. It would then therefore make sense for it to have Liquidation, perhaps Scald as a special water option, and then either Lunge or Leech Life as well, and then something else. I wasn't really sure what item it would go for. I've seen Araquanid code a few times in VGC, but in singles, I don't think I've seen it yet. In the matches that I've either seen on YouTube or here on Showdown, at least. And then Zapdos. I had a decent idea of what to expect. Thunderbolt, possibly Discharge. Most likely Thunderbolt, Heat Wave, Roost, quite possibly Hidden Power Ice. I don't recall there being a lot of variation in Zapdos sets. It has a decent amount of options, but something like Thunderbolt or Discharge, I think, depending on if it's an offensive or defensive set. And then Hidden Power Ice, perhaps. Roost is, I believe, generally on there, and then Heat Wave for coverage. I go with my first team, as I've always done so far. Now to see, what do I open with? Ambipom could do decent against all, although if Lopunny Mega Evolves, Ambipom becomes weak. Mimikyu could do decent, I suppose, against Araquanid and Zapdos, although I believe Araquanid has quite high physical defense, if I recall correctly. And the Ghost moves don't actually work on Lopunny. At this point, I didn't realize what Mega Lopunny's ability was yet, at the time of team's Pokemon selection. So I was still thinking, I'll keep Mimikyu in the back, because I was almost entirely certain that the Lopunny would have High Jump Kick. So I would wait for the High Jump Kick, like against the Ambipom, most likely, switch into Mimikyu to force it to take a lot of damage, because it doesn't hit Ghost types. So my opening is Heracross, just like before. And I see Lopunny, and I'm like, okay, that's good. I can just close combat. I do realize that both Zapdos and Araquanid are in the back, and they both resist the close combat. So Rock Blast is also an option. However, would Lopunny stay in, then yeah, that's gonna resist it. So I had to make a prediction here. Did it matter? Not really, because Lopunny Mega Evolves and uses Fake Out. Okay, Fake Out deals some pretty good damage with 25%, high attack, stab off of its normal typing. So, just decent damage. I can't get my move of. Next turn, though, Last Resort. And here I'm like, oh my gosh. It's exactly like my Ambipom. So, I'm not sure what to do. I'm thinking, wait, Mimikyu is perfect for this because it only has normal moves. But just before I send it in. No, I think I'm right here, actually. Because I realized that Ambipom wasn't going to work anyway because it's weaker and slower. I send in Mimikyu anyway, but I realize He has Scrappy. Or she, this Lopunny's female, has Scrappy. It can hit ghost types. Red card comes in, Swords Dance. The red card here actually doesn't really work because it's just gonna allow another fake out by the Lopunny. So here I'm like, yay, I take out the Arachnid, but I need to take out the Lopunny with Play Rough anyway. I'm not even gonna get there because Mimikyu is taken out by the fake out. Yay, my Ambipom comes in. I do my fake out. I want to do my last resort, but they're faster. They're stronger. Their last resort comes in and just takes me out. They win the first fight 2-0. They win the first game, giving me my first game loss of the tournament. Here FlashSilver reveals, yeah, everyone hates my Lopunny and Zapdos. I haven't even seen Zapdos in action, so I still don't know why people hate it. I'm thinking it's a completely different set from like your regular, what I expected with your Thunderbolt, your Heat Wave, your Roost, something like that. I really wasn't sure what to expect from Zapdos, just something really crazy. And Lopunny, I definitely did not see that coming. I wasn't really expecting a Lopunny anyway, but I definitely didn't see the fake out Last Resort one coming. Game 2, I was absolutely certain I was going to team number 2. Because there were various reasons, just purely Lopunny was going to win against Ambipom 1-on-1, was going to win against Mimikyu, and then I hadn't even seen Arachnid and Zapdos out yet. Lopunny just was very good against my first team. Sure, I had Heracross, but as you could see, it also could take out Heracross, assuming the fake out was there. So, yeah, that wasn't going to work. I needed my second team. Definitely needed it. Hoopa starts off because I feel it's a good option. Also because it has Choice Scarf and Trick, so potentially I could trick it into something that it isn't. Like Zapdos comes out, so possibly I get to find out what that Zapdos is all about now. They withdraw. I Psychic, thinking, yeah, Psychic is just my best move to play. Possibly they switch into Lopunny, although they won't Mega immediately. If they then Mega Evolve, I can hit it super effectively. Not a lot of damage here. I'm thinking, yeah, that's not going to work, especially considering Arachnid is bound to have a bug move, either Lunge or Leech Life, which is just gonna take out Hoopa. But I have a Pokemon that resists bug, and also the water that Arachnid is bound to have. Arachnid also probably doesn't have that big of a variety of moves, so I was very happy to be able to switch into Azumarill. Pretty much get a free Belly Drum setup here, I feel. Citrus Berry heals my HP back a little bit. They play Liquidation. Deal decent damage, not enough. I Play Rough, which is kind of risky, I suppose, with the accuracy, but it deals good damage. I believe I forgot that my fourth... I wasn't even thinking about my fourth move, which is Knockoff. I didn't even consider the fact that that could get double power, so that could maybe take it out. I just went with Play Rough. I don't think Knockoff came to mind in too many scenarios, although I do use it later on. Lopunny comes in. I know there's a fake out coming, but I also know that if I switch out Azumarill, then it's kind of useless if I switch it back in later. Fake out doesn't actually take me out, so I now have priority Aqua Jet, and it completely takes out the Lopunny because his defenses aren't too high. Zapdos comes in. Aqua Jet almost takes it out, which is really unfortunate. Thunderbolt's reveal on Zapdos first of its moves. Golden Bun done, but I still have two of my Pokemon. Hoopa comes back in just so I don't reveal anything of my Megear, and I just use Psych again. I miss. And I am confused. Why? How? What? As I realize, and FlashSilver, I believe it'll come up in the chat in just a moment, they forgot they had this item as well. They're holding a Bright Powder. And I was like, what? Evasion Clause? You can't do that. Now, I've not played Smogon singles much since Gen 4. Maybe a bit in Gen 5, but it was Gen 4 that I mainly did it. After that, I didn't do it too much. Either Evasion Clause was altered, or just completely removed. I believe Evasion Clause still exists, but only things that directly alter your evasion stats in battle. So something like Double Team, or Accuracy with Sand Attack. Bright Powder, yes, it makes you more likely to evade, I believe by 10%, but it doesn't directly alter either the evasion or accuracy stats in battle. It's an outer source, so then Bright Powder is allowed, which I'm very, very surprised by, but it was one legal. Like, Evasion Clause, like, evasion moves clause. Evasion moves are banned. It says nothing about items. And even if you would have wanted to not allow bright powder, it wasn't specified that it wasn't allowed in the tournament rules. So there wasn't anything I could do in here. Bright powder is perfectly legal. So I just had to deal with that. And I think I realized why Zapdos is so annoying. They roost, hoping that I would miss. But I did. But I then go first thanks to Choice Scarf, Psychic, and actually take it out anyway. Dealing over 50% damage against Zapdos, that is something good to remember. However, it's now 1-1. Both of us have lost our first game of the tournament. This third game is going to decide who wins, I suppose, the winner's brackets and goes into the finals. I won this fight, and assuming they don't switch teams, which they don't before the third game, I feel pretty good. And I haven't even shown anything of what my Magearna can do. However, they'll likely switch it up a bit. Maybe the predictions will change things, so it's still all to play for. They have a very good team, and they could just have luck on their side with the bright powder as well, so let's see what happens. Game number 3. Who do we open with? I feel Rayman is still the safe option. They open with Whoopany. So I'm thinking, okay, let's just Psychic. That feels like the best option. They fake out as expected. And here I'm like, I can be faster, which I am, and I'm like, I'll trick them so that they keep using fake out. But then I forgot. They have a Mega Stone. That Mega Stone does not disappear upon Mega Evolving, and you cannot trick a Mega Stone. This really cost me momentum. If I would have just used Psychic here, chances are I would have just been able to take it out. Focus Blast, less accurate, definitely would have been a takeout. Psychic most likely would have as well, with Lopunny having 2 great special defense or HP, and Rayman having stab and just high special attack. I should have just used Psychic. Felt Trick was the better option just to completely get rid of Lopunny. But this cost me my Hoopa, and I was behind, and they didn't even have damage. I need a Rosemon here. They likely couldn't do much because I was a Steel type. They sent in Zapdos. I must have expected it to stay in just to hit me with a bit of Last Resort. Went for Focus Blast instead of my setup. I go for Shift Gear, expecting to be slower, because I believe Magearna's base speed is 65. Sure, I have speed investment, but I did not expect with speed of it to outspeed a Zapdos, which has higher speed. I did not expect to outspeed it. I did. However, okay, I'm faster anyway. I should have, knowing that, used Ice Beam, but I didn't. I expected to be slower, so he must have had like minus speed or something just to go second, or there'll have been a reason, or I just completely misremembered what their speed is. However, like, Ice Beam, I hit, which is nice. I'm really thankful that their Heat Wave misses, so I still have a chance in this fight. And then I miss Ice Beam because, you know, the Bright Powder. They roost, makes sense. I Ice Beam again, miss. 10% into 10%. It's a 1% chance for that to happen. And I'm taking out, they have 3 Pokemon at such high HP. I need just really good Azumarill play, but like Thunderbolt was gonna take me out anyway. The double 10% chance. I made a big mistake early on with Trick into Lopunny. That was completely my mistake. Lost me momentum. I'd say I still had a chance, not a high jump. I still had a chance after that. The speed thing with Zapdos against Magearna messed me up a bit, but even then I still had a chance. And then double Bright Powder happened. I don't like it, but it's legal and it's a good strategy, so I just have to give props to FlashSilver for coming up with that and making use of it to beat me. It was a 3-0 victory this final game, but if we realize that the chance of this happening again is 10% only on each hit with the Bright Powder, then the chances of this match becoming close, would we meet again in the tournament, which is possible, it can be very close and very exciting. However, with FlashSilver now winning, I'm not knocked out, but I move to the loser's bracket. FlashSilver goes into the finals, where they will fight the winner of the loser's bracket. Because I lost in the finals of the winner's bracket, I move immediately to the finals of the loser's bracket. And would I win my fight there, I would refight FlashSilver in the finals. And I want that to happen. However, to make that happen, I first need to beat someone else. Someone else who has fought their way through the losers brackets to get into the finals of that. So, round 5 will be against VV Hooper. My opponent from the previous fight from round 3, I will face them again. I beat them 2-0 last time, but they now know my teams, I believe both of them, pretty well. So it's going to be more difficult, I would say. Next fight, finals of the losers bracket, round 5, a rematch against VV Hooper. See you then.